Welcome back to your ultimate pit stop, Piston Pundit. The global engine is misfiring, and the world order that once ran smoothly with America at the center is now shaking under President Donald Trump's second term. Longtime allies and major regions are easing off the throttle, quietly pulling back from the United States in ways that show up in travel data, trade decisions, and shifting alliances. No dramatic announcements, just measurable behavior, declining tourism, and retaliatory economic moves, signaling a new geopolitical road ahead. So how did the world reach this turning point? Here are the developments. The global boycott, a silent retreat from America. Only a few years ago, the United States still operated as the world's gravitational center, drawing travelers, shaping alliances, and anchoring global democracy. Today, that pull is noticeably weaker. The shift didn't arrive with dramatic headlines, but through gradual declines that formed a clear pattern. By mid-2025, travel data showed the US was the only major destination where foreign visitor spending was shrinking. What began as a mild dip turned into a steady drop in arrivals from Europe, Asia, Africa, and especially Canada, leaving airports quieter and hotel occupancy slipping in key states. Billions in lost spending were confirmed by the World Travel and Tourism Council, while other regions enjoyed tourism booms. Analysts called it a sentiment collapse, driven by emotion and perception, not just cost. Tougher visa rules, revived travel bans, and stricter border checks made the US feel unpredictable, while Trump's rhetoric amplified unease. No nation has declared a boycott, yet global behavior resembles one. The world isn't confronting America, it's quietly stepping back. And among all the regions quietly stepping back, none reflects this change more personally than America's closest neighbor. Canada's cold turn, a trusted ally, steps back. Canada, long one of America's closest and most dependable partners, now reflects a dramatic shift in sentiment. The once steady flow of Canadian visitors entering the United States has declined for 9 straight months, despite a favorable exchange rate that should have boosted cross-border travel. The downturn isn't about cost, it's rooted in how Canadians feel. Trump's 51st state remark landed poorly, while new fingerprinting rules for stays over 29 days frustrated longtime snowbirds who own U.S. property. Border towns from Buffalo to Montana are reporting some of their weakest tourism seasons in decades, with marketing incentives doing little to reverse the slide. Many retirees who once wintered in Florida or Arizona are now choosing Mexico, the Caribbean, or Southeast Asia instead. The clearest symbol of change. For the first time in nearly 20 years, outside pandemic anomalies, more Americans are driving into Canada than Canadians heading south. Canada isn't turning hostile, it's quietly turning inward, expressing its stance through travel choices and spending. Before we delve deeper, do us a favor and smash that like and subscribe button. This helps us reach more auto enthusiasts just like you. And as Canada turns inward, another key pillar of the Western Alliance is quietly reconfiguring its position on the global stage. Europe breaks formation, a new Western power shift. Across the Atlantic, Europe is redefining its relationship with the United States, not through dramatic rupture, but through steady distancing. Once bound by shared values and decades of defense cooperation, Europe is now reassessing its reliance on Washington under Trump's second term. Germany's major travel agency, Der Tour, reports a sharp and persistent drop in U.S. bookings, while official data shows fewer Germans migrating to America and more Americans moving to Germany. Evidence of shifting sentiment, not just travel choices. Political tensions have deepened the divide. European leaders were stunned when the U.S. aligned with Russia, North Korea, and Belarus in a UN vote on Ukraine, breaking long-standing Western unity. The incoming German chancellor's call for Europe to achieve independence from the USA reflects a generational shift, echoed by France's consideration of extending its nuclear umbrella across Europe. Europe isn't severing ties, it's preparing to operate without America at the center. The rise of the E5 defense coalition underscores a continent charting a more independent path. And while Europe redraws its alliances, another major region is quietly reconsidering its long-haul relationship with the United States. Asia turns inward. Long-haul travel quietly dries up. Asia's shift away from the United States is quieter than Europe's or Canada's, but potentially more impactful. For decades, America was a top destination for Asian tourists, students, and business leaders. But in 2025, long-haul travel from Japan, South Korea, India, and China has weakened as regional trips surge. A stronger US dollar, rising airfare, complex visa rules, and the new $250 visa integrity fee have pushed many families and students toward easier, less political destinations. Yet the deeper issue is perception. Many Asian travelers now view the US as unpredictable and less welcoming. Tourism boards in Japan and South Korea are promoting regional travel, fueling a boom across Asia. China's visitor numbers remain far below pre-pandemic levels amid tensions and tougher US entry screening. Corporate travel tells a similar story. Major conferences are shifting to Singapore, Tokyo, Dubai, and Seoul. International students are choosing Canada, Australia, and the UK over US uncertainty. Asia isn't rejecting America, it's broadening its options in a multipolar world. And as Asia diversifies its paths, America's economic posture is triggering even more dramatic responses around the world. Tariff shockwaves, allies retaliate as America stands isolated. While travel trends reveal shifting sentiment, Trump's sweeping tariffs have reshaped the global economic landscape. Broad trade penalties on the European Union, Japan, Australia, and dozens of partners triggered immediate market turbulence. Europe, long America's strongest economic ally, condemned the move, with Ursula von der Leyen warning of global damage and preparing countermeasures. Markets dipped, and economists cautioned that the ripple effects could spark recessionary pressure. Australia, a major supporter of the AUKUS Pact, expressed shock after facing new steel and aluminum tariffs. Canada halted trade negotiations entirely. Even Japan, one of Washington's closest partners, was hit with tariff penalties, raising concerns about automotive and tech supply chains. These actions reinforce the perception of a U.S. foreign policy driven by unpredictability rather than long-standing alliances. Beyond economics, the tariffs highlight growing isolation. Nations aren't rebelling, they're reorganizing. Europe and Asia are strengthening regional alliances, supply chains are shifting away from U.S. dependence, and multinational firms are reducing exposure to American volatility. The world is quietly preparing to operate without America at its center. And together, these trends lead us to a stark and unavoidable conclusion. Verdict: America confronts a world moving without it. The global shift unfolding in 2025 isn't the result of dramatic confrontations or fiery speeches. It's a collection of quiet but decisive behaviors. Shrinking tourism, diverted investment, recalibrated alliances, and a steady reduction in global reliance on Washington. What appears on the surface as a tourism slump is, underneath, a deep renegotiation of trust, influence, and leadership. Nations once aligned with the U.S. are strengthening bonds with each other, seeking stability in regional partnerships, or simply looking inward. The question now is whether this transformation is a temporary reaction, or the start of a long-term geopolitical realignment. Can the United States rebuild the confidence of its allies, or has the world already begun charting a new route forward? Before we wrap up, let us ask you, do you think America can regain its global influence, or has the world already moved on? Are these shifts temporary reactions to policy, or signs of a larger geopolitical reroute? And which region's pivot surprised you the most? Canada, Europe, or Asia? Share your thoughts below. Your insights are part of what drives this channel. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe to Piston Pundit to get notified about the next vehicle updates, global trends affecting the auto world, and upcoming videos. Thanks for watching, and see you at the next pit stop. You can now check out any of the videos on the screen. There's plenty more to explore.